Yeah, hello, welcome back. On our last class, we talked about HTML attributes, and on this class, we'll be talking about image, how to add image in your documents, and how to add more attributes to your image. Another task that we'll be talking about after that we'll be talking about as we are moving. You understand? So that is why I necessarily create a whole video for attributes. So on this image video you still get to learn more about attribute and some other elements that you need to know about. Now this is our index.html and we have it right here. This is our index.html. So we have talked about hyperlinks, we have talked about different stores and like that, and today we'll be talking about image, like I said. So how do you add image into your document? And before I even go further, let me tell you that the the when you are writing your HTML document, just HTML, plain HTML, the more the first code that you wrote will be at the first, followed by the second one, followed by the third one, followed by the fourth one. You can see that this one is here, then we have this under. That's why we have this here, and we have this under. If I want this to be here, I will copy this at the top of this here. You understand what I mean? So the arrangement determine how you arrange the code, which one comes first, followed by another one, followed by another one. Yeah, I think someone is having problem with that, and he asked me now, okay, what if I want to take what I have at the down here to the front page? Yeah, you have to copy it at the down that it is and copy it to the front. For instance, we have English. Look at this. Let's look for this English here, mark. So if I want this English at the top of all this mathematics, I'll copy this English, I'll copy it, I'll let's cut it, then I'll come and paste it here. And I paste and I save. You can see I can write my own HR. Sorry, yeah, I can write my HR here. So you can see it at the top because I copied this code that is down here to the top. So that's how you want it. The way you want it to arrange is the way you arrange your code as well. So that is basically what I want to just bring out at that part. So let's go back to our listing now. Let's go back to today's topic, which is image. Now how can you add image to your document? Now first of all, let's create a folder whereby we'll be adding any image that we have on the document, so that whenever we need to add an image, we know the folder that all our image are located. So how do we create folder? Remember I told you this is to create file, but this is to create folder. So let's create a folder and let be img to represent our image. That is a folder called img. So whatever image you want to use, you have to put it inside this guy so that it will be easily located. If we can move our image here as well, but it will not make sense that all image will be at the same place where our code will be. The code will not look well arranged. It will just jump packed all around the other one. You understand? So now let's copy image inside this guy. So what we are going to do is to look for our folder here, then probably let's use this guy. So I'll copy this guy now. Let me copy this guy, and where it okay, this it here, and we have the folder here, img. Then I'll paste the guy here, paste, and the name of this guy, the name of this image is bbb. You cannot check the properties of this image. It is bbb dot png. So if you want to name it inside your code, it's going to be bbb.emg. For instance, let me rename it to probably boy. You can see that it has renamed to boy. So the boy will probably be boy. Sorry, click here and go to properties. Sorry, you can see it is boy.png. It's going to be exactly like that in your code as well. So let me go back to the code now. When we check this image now, this is the folder that we're going to copy this thing inside img. When we click on it, the boy is there. You can see boy.png. That is the format you are going to use to add your image. So let's say for instance I want to add image here. Let's say we want to add image somewhere here. This is a new paragraph. Okay, this is a new paragraph. can just add a space. Remember, HTML did not understand all this spacing. There's nothing concern it. So even if I write anything, it's just the text you're going to write. And you see, it did not put all these spaces that I put to it. It don't put all of them. It didn't care about all these spaces. If I want these spaces on my code, I would rather use BR or paragraph and some other code I may use. So now, how can we add our image? You will write a tag called img. That is the tag for image. img. So the img now will now asking for the source of the image, and the source of the image is an attribute called src is equals to. Remember, I said that whenever you are writing an attribute, this is an attribute name and this is the value of the attribute. So the name of this attribute here is called src. That is, it's asking for the source of this image here. So you are going to put it here. So what further is this image? We have it inside img slash. Does bring the boy out. When you click on it, it gives you img slash boy, because this one is a folder. Whenever you want to call the folder, you put a folder name slash the name of the file inside that particular folder. You understand? Then you now close it like this and you save. When I save, the image is here, but the image is too big. Can you see how big it is? Let me extract. Can you see how big it is? That is when we'll be talking about some attributes that you need to know. This image is too big than what we needed in our page, because the image is an high quality image. So what we are going to do now is, let's go back to our page. What we are going to do now is now create another attribute inside here. You now write, there's the attribute name called height. That is, we want to select the height of our image, this image. So let's say we want to give it 100 px, that is 100 pixels, and that is the height, and we want to give it a width of 100 pixels. And let's see, you can see our image is at the size of 100 by 100 pixels. That's how it is. So if you want it more bigger, you can see 200 by 200 pixels to get more bigger. The more bigger you want it, the more pixels. If you want this height to be more longer than this width, you can increase the height. You know, this height means vertically like this, and this width means horizontally like this. Whenever you increase the width, it's going to increase horizontally like this, and if you want to increase the height, it's going to increase vertically like this. For instance, let's increase this height to probably 300 pixels, and we see, you can see increase vertically like this. So if I want this one, maybe I want to increase it to, let's say, 500. You can see the width increase horizontally and the height increase vertically. Now, in most cases, I'll always advise you that whenever you want to write this code, you don't necessarily need to add the height. It's more logical to just add width, because the height will automatically give itself the best height, whatever width that you give it. For instance, let's say you give it width. You see that if you check this image, it's stretched anyhow, and it look kind of stretched, which is not okay. You understand? But if you want it to be, you want to increase it, and it's still going to maintain the best height for any width that you give it. You don't need to give it height, just give it width. It's going to give it the best height automatically. Let's say width, let's say 300 pixels, only width. When I save, you can see that it gives it a perfect height by itself. You can see that the image did not look stretched. The reason being that is because some of you might not know the best height you want to give it. So you might be giving height that you will not still be comfortable with, that this image look kind of stretched, it look kind of this, it look kind of that. So instead of all those drama, just give it only width. It's going to give it the perfect height by itself. Even if I increase this to, let's say, 500, you still give it the best height. You can see that I give it the best height. We are not giving it an height here, we just give her a width. So it's more logical whenever you want to add any image and you want to resize it on a web page, just give it only width. The height will automatically go in line with it. I hope you understand what I mean. So that's how to add image. Like I said, for instance, let's try to add the image back. We say img, let's just rewrite the image. Let me save, and we don't have the image there anymore. So let's say we want to add it back. img src is equals to quotes. Then you are going to call the where the image is, and you say the image inside which folder image. img rather, img slash boy dot png. That is our image. But whenever you save it back, it is going to come sorry, src. I say src, img src. Then you save, it's going to come in a very big way, so you can just give it width and say 100 pixels. So it's going to give it an 100 pixel width, and the height will automatically be there. You understand? So let's talk about more attributes on this image. For instance, let's say, let me add another image into our document. Probably I don't want the image to be inside this folder. Let me add another image. Let's say, okay, let me go to my desktop. Let's take this Coach Pro image, and let's go inside our folder, and let me just add it here. You know, normally I should add it inside this image. I want to tell you the difference of adding it here. Let's say Coach Pro, that's the name of our image, and if you can check, this image is in JPEG format, JPG format. You can say postpro.jpg. So when we go inside our code, that is exactly what it's going to tell us here. You can see postpro.jpg. That is the image. Now let's now imagine we want to add this postpro.jpg into our document after adding this guy, which is boy.png. So we can probably say img src, let that ring, hit enter, then you now say postpro.jpg. You can see it, enter, and let's say press and see the size. The size is quite big as well, so let's give it the same width. Let's say I want to give this, copy this and paste it here, save. So these guys are beside each other, you can see. So if you don't want them beside each other, what should we do? Like, we want this one to be in another, this one should be below, and this one should be up forward. You can pause this video and crack that by yourself before I put it. So I hope you have paused this, and now what you are going to use is also br, which is break, and just save. You can see this one come here, and this one is at another page. Now this is image. Now you can see that we write img here, src. We did not call the folder img here, because this Coach Pro image is not inside this folder. It is outside. It is inside all this where this code are. That's why we did not call any folder here. But this one, we wrote img, is telling us that inside this folder, this is a folder. So there is the image called boy.png inside this folder. You understand? So this is the name of the folder. We just call it slash name. So whenever you want to call the folder, you say image, you say the name of the folder slash the name of the file. That is why Visual Studio Code is very good. Even before you are done writing it, for instance, let me just write the folder name and put slash bar. You see, it will list out all the images inside this folder. So you can just click on the one that you want, like this file. It will correct it, then you see it's going to give you the same guy here, just like that. So that's what I want to explain. This one is not inside the folder, and this one is inside the folder. Let's now imagine inside this img there's still another folder inside it, probably another folder called icon. So what we are going to do is, you now say img slash icon slash the name of these things. That is, we are telling that this inside this folder there's this folder, and inside this folder is where we have this guy. You understand? So that's actually how it works. So in future we'll still be talking more about these things. So this is just the basic, as we said, we are still in HTML, and I hope you understand it very well. And if you don't understand, you can probably still go to Google and search. Probably I'll still drop some materials for you guys in the group to learn more about image. There's not too much big deals on image, because the more you need image, we'll still be talking about it as our class involved. There's no even need for material or other stuff. Now let's talk about more attributes that we can add to image. In our previous class, like I said, we talk about attributes. So let's say we talk about an attribute in our past video called title. That is, it's going to add an information. When you take your cursor to it, it's going to tell you the information about this image. You understand? Probably I want to add a title in this guy. Let me just put a space to demarcate this guy, and let's say title is equals to, I cannot say this is a boy image. When I say save and I take my cursor on this guy, it's going to give me the information. You can see this is a boy image. Whatever information we want someone to see when they take the cursor into any element on HTML, that's when you use the attribute name called title, and you add the value as the message you want the person to see. That's how simple it is. So there's another important attribute that you need to know. It is called auth. It's called auth. You can see auth. Auth means alternative. Let's say, for instance, probably you did not get this code right. Probably you change the direction of where this guy is. For instance, let me see if I can push this guy inside here. Move. So if you want to move a file inside a folder, probably I want to move it inside this folder. I want to move this code inside this folder. I'll just drag this guy inside here, and it's asking me, are you sure you want to move codeSpro.png into img? And I say move. So this guy is not normal here, is inside this folder now. You understand what I mean? Probably I still want to create a folder. Okay, let us leave it like that. Now this, all my image are inside this img now. It's no more out. And if you can check our code, you can see that it's not showing anymore. Why is it not showing? Because we said that the code, the codeSpro.png is not inside any folder here. Likewise, it's now inside a folder. Yeah. So this thing is not showing anything, and that's the work of the alternative. The alternative can indicate to you that, oh, there's an image here, and the name of the image is something something. Probably I say this is an image for CodeSpro flyer, and I say save. The media says save, and the image is not showing because I have not select the source where the image is really is. So it's giving me this message that, okay, this is an image for CodeSpro flyer, that there's an image that's supposed to be here and it's not there. So as a visitor that visits this page, you know that, oh, an image is supposed to be here but it's not there. Oh, it's not part of the content that I'm reading in the website. And if you are a developer, you can see, oh, this image is not showing anymore. Which image? You can have thousands of images on your website. You can see which part of the image is not showing. You use this to discover that, oh, the CodeSpro flyer is not showing. So you now go and check why the CodeSpro flyer is not working. You understand? So now the reason why this one is not working is because this guy is now inside this folder. So what we need to do is to just call the name of the folder first and put slash, then we call the name of this guy, which is img slash. You can see immediately I write img slash, it brings out all the images inside that folder. I cannot click on this guy, bam, it's still the same thing, img slash, the name of the image, and I click on save. Now our image is back. You can see that the alternative is actually not working again because the image is showing. The work of the alternative is when this guy is not showing, there should be an alternative message to indicate or to instruct or tell the user or the developer the image that is here that is not showing, so that whenever they want to replace it, they will know the one that is not showing among every image and know how to place it directly back there on the same position. I hope you understand what I mean. So let's now say, for instance, now we did not get the name of the folder right, and we say this thing. You can see our alternative is back. As long as this guy is not correct and the image is not showing, the alternative will come up. And if you can see, I can highlight this guy. You can see I can highlight and copy them, but I can't highlight this guy because an image is supposed to be there. If you come in form like an image, you can never copy it. You understand? It's telling you that this is an image supposed to be here, not your regular text. That's another sign as well. You understand? So let's put our G here so that our code will be correct, and boom, we are there. Now let's talk about another attribute. Now I need to let you guys know that you can add as much as attributes. You can even have up to 1 million attributes if necessary on any HTML tag, depending on how you want them. You understand? But in most cases, it's actually not necessary to add too much attributes, because when we get to CSS, there are some attributes that will not be necessary anymore, that it can be infected in CSS and some other stuff like that. Now let's imagine we want to add another attribute here. Like I said, this is the front tag, and image is a standalone tag. It doesn't have an ending tag. It's a standalone because you just had this image guy, bam, and it's a standalone tag. You can see that we not had the closing tag on it. So yeah, so this normal image tag src is equals to this, then this image tag. where the location of the image will just be here, but you can see that it doesn't need a closing tag. That is it. That's why we can add more things before the last. Like I said, if you want to add attributes, it's going to come before the last angle of the starting tag. For instance, this bold, right, and this is the starting tag of the bold, and this is the ending tag for the bold, right. This is the ending tag of the bold, right. So if you want to add an attribute to this bold, we are going to put a space immediately before this last angle here at the starting tag. You can see that's how it's going to be. So you name the name of your attribute, you say name of the attribute is equals to, then that is how to write it, and you put your value inside here. You can see that it must be inside the starting tag. You understand? So that is exactly how attribute works. Now let's go ahead and hard write more attributes. So let me talk about another attribute called border. This one, as the name implies, it is used to add a border to an image or anything. You can see this border. You can see that there is a border there, and I write the name of the border is border. The name of the attribute rather is border, and is equals to the value of the border, how thick you want the border to be. If I say 1, the thickness will be quite small, right? You can see. Let's say I say 10. You can see that the border is now more thick. You can add more things to it. You understand what I mean? So you can add the border that will be even more thicker or smaller, depending on how you want your border actually. So you can probably say you want to add let's say 20. You can see it's getting thicker as the number increases. 30, you can see 40, you can see, yeah. So if you don't want it to be this big or something, probably 5, you can see the border there, but it's not that thick. That is the work of the attribute called border. I hope you get that right. So I think we have talked about alternative. We have talked about alternative and this alternative here. You can use alternative for any image. We have talked about height. We have talked about width. We have talked about title. And let me see if this guy will actually work. Align should work. I don't know. Maybe it's working on this particular HTML5 now. So let's say one right. Let's just say okay, yeah, it works. So this align means it's going to align it. Do you want to align the image to the right? Do you want to align it to the left? Do you want to align it to the middle? Or do you want to align it to the top or down? So I said, look at this guy now. Let me close this. Now please note that after this is an attribute, right? This is an attribute and a value. We want to add another attribute. You just come here, just put space, just like we always did, and they align, and any other name or any other attribute name is equals to quotes. So now this guy, we want to say that, look at this image, this guy, we want it at the right hand side, just like as I did the other time, and I just say right, bam, and this right, and this guy is right at the right hand side of the screen. When I expand the screen, you can see the guy here is at the right hand side of the screen. That is exactly how that one works. So this is right hand side. So if one's in the middle, so this guy, well, okay, if you go back to this thing, the middle is not working. There's another tab for the middle. I'll talk about this shortly. And the left is the normal left that it is, which is here. Yeah, so it can either be at the left, at the middle, or it can be at the right hand side. You understand? Yeah, so if that is necessary actually. So now you can see that the more I'm adding the BR, is actually just giving this guy a little space like this. It's not going directly like this. Yes, that is because the code have understand that, okay, since you are positioning this guy, since you are positioning like left, right hand side, probably you want to put something at this side. That's why you are shifting it. You are shifting this guy, because if necessarily you don't want anything beside this guy, you will not shift. You understand? You not align it. For instance, let me remove the alignment. You see that it goes directly at the down. But if I take back the alignment, the code, if you want to shift it, let's say, let me remove these two, but please take your height closer to this guy. It's going to move up a bit here. Let's see, you can see that it moved up a bit because we don't have any break, and they are still beside each other. The more I'm adding break, it's going down small like this, because the code is letting us know that there's a element that should be here. That's why we are positioning this guy left, right, or whatever. You understand? So if you don't position it at all, this guy will not be here. After a break, he's going to be here. You understand? So that is what we're talking about there. So we have talked about aligned, we have talked about border, we have talked about title, we have talked about height, width, and alternatives. Yeah, there's a particular tag that you have talked about in this thing. It is called center. Actually, it's not too welcome in HTML5, but you can use it. It's working perfectly. You understand? Whenever I'm writing a code and the code show red, it means that the HTML5 have an alternative for it now that you don't necessarily need to use. For instance, this del is now working fine. See that there's no red, but this stripe is red because saying instead of using this stripe, you can actually use this del. You understand? This align now have an alternative, but it is inside CSS right now. So this border, yeah, you can use it inside CSS or something. That is the indication that it's actually giving you. Now there's another tag called center. Just starting tag center and closing tag center. For instance, I want to write probably anything. You can use anything. Okay, let me choose to use something more. Let's see. Okay, let me add an h1 here, and let's say welcome here, and I see you can see this welcome here. The welcome here is at the left hand side. You can put it at the middle or at the right hand side. For instance, align can do that for you, but there is a center tag that we want to talk about. You just have center, sorry for using caps, center, bam. So you can see that he ended it, but this guy is not at the middle, so we have to remove this starting tag and put it at the end here so that they will be at the middle and the effect will be there. So when we save, you can see this guy at the center. You can see it at the center. That is how the center tag work. That's how the center tag works. You put it at the center of the page or the element. So let's now imagine that, okay, let's remove this align because we now know how align works or something like that. Let's now imagine, okay, let me first put a break so that I can take this guy to the next line here. So let's now imagine that we want this guy to be at the center. You know, we have had an alignment to be at the left or to be at the right. Now let's say center. So what are we going to do? We are going to add a tag called center. See, center, and the center is closing itself back, so we have to copy it and make sure that everything we want to center is in between this center starting tag and closing tag of center. Paste. You understand? You can see it now that this our image is in between this center tag, the starting tag and the ending tag. When we save and boom, this our image is at the center. So we can use this center to create any element at the center of an element or a page. You can see that it's at the center of the page. You can use it to do anything, including, let's say this is about us here. We want to say this is about us. I think this is the guy. So you can say you want to put it at center. You can say center, center. I'll put it here. Center. You can see this guy at the center. You can see it at the center. This is here at the left on the default. So the center will help you put everything on center. If I want to center everything here, I just have to add the center starting tag here and closing tag here. Everything here will be at the center. That is exactly how the center tag works. I hope I'm making a little bit sense. I don't know how much time we have used right now. I think the video is getting too long or something. I hope you just understand what I mean. And there's another attribute called style. I don't want to talk about the attribute called style now because we'll be talking about it when we are introducing ourselves to inline CSS and more about CSS. So that's why I don't want to talk about the attribute called this thing now. I hope you still remember the attributes of this body. And you can use BG color. BG color means background color. Color is equals to quote, and we can add any color you want it to be. Yeah, probably car, let's say brown, and you say sync. You can see change to brown. You can see any color at all. You can even use color code. We'll talk about the color code later. Probably I want to use purple. The color code for purple is 8080. So you say save. You can see purple, or you can just write purple. You can see it's still the same thing. So you can add any color here. This is called BG color, and you can add this BG color to, I don't know, maybe it works with the other elements, I'm not sure, but I know it works with body very well. So let's try if it works for this guy. BG color is equals to yellow. See, yeah, it actually don't work with this guy. So we can do all these things in CSS. And the style that we talk about, probably let me just talk about the style a little bit here. So there's an attribute called style. You can use the style to style anything you want to do. For instance, let's say this guy is called, let me remove this BG color from purple, we don't need it, and say I want a blank page like this. So let's say this is our heading 1. Let's find this guy inside our code. This is our heading 1. For instance, when you are looking for a particular code on your this thing, on your HTML, on your document rather, let's say we are looking for this heading 1. So you just come here and press Ctrl F. It's called search. So if you find rather, you're going to find, and you say enter, it take you there. You see. So now we want to add a style, an attribute called style here. You can say style is equals to, now this style is equals to, sorry, style, it means this is an attribute name called style. It's called an inline CSS. Like if you want to write a CSS code within a particular tag, that's what we more called inline CSS. I just want to touch it a little bit so that in future when we are introducing ourselves to CSS, we talk about it more. Probably I want to change the background color of this guy. You know that place we wrote BG color. No, on CSS is not called BG color. You write it background dash color. Then you root is equals to the name of the color and you use colon. For instance, semicolon rather. For instance, background. You can see that bringing it out here. Background color. This is how you are going to write background color. So it's asking what background color do you want to give. It's even giving you options here. You can use anything. Let's say you want to use name going. I will say save. You can see the background color of this guy changed. So when we want to change the color of this text, we just have to write color, just color. We change the color of the text. So you just say color, and let's say we want to change this to something like linear, and boom, you can see this guy has changed. So what demarcates this guy from this guy is this semicolon. Whenever you write this one in CSS is called a property. This is the property, background color is the property, and lime color is the value. Then another color, another color, another color. So when we get to CSS, we'll talk more about it. This is an attribute called style. You understand? This style. And I think I'm done. So we have merged image, how to include image with what's it called, with attributes together. So I initially and I purposely talk about it a little more here because I felt I've not done myself enough justice on the previous video, and I want you guys to be more familiar with attributes because we'll be using them more when we get to CSS. I hope you understand. I hope you enjoy the class. Thank you very much for staying through. I still remember my humble self, Adigun Akorede Abdurrashid, popularly known as Akotech. Thank you.